my name is Rosco Levee and you're watching Kent Kitchen.
Hi Rosco.
Hello.
Hello. How's your day been today?
Good. Haven't really done a lot, just came here,
Yeah.
changed a few dirty nappies this morning, but
Fair enough. You got a kid though?
I have, yes, 12 days old he is,
Oh, amazing.
called Flynn, and yeah, he's pretty cool, but I'm glad to get out of the house to be honest, for a couple of hours.
Wow. Where are you from? Are you from around here?
No, literally I was born in Canterbury and spent most of my life in Swale, and most of my sort of early gigging time in Medway, Rochester, Chatham, Gillingham, and then I've been down in Thanet for about a year and a half now.
Wow, cool. How long have you been writing music for?
Probably the last 10 years. I remember sort of making up little things when I was very young, but properly, kind of professionally, if you like, for about 10 years or so.
Right.
Only in the last sort of 2 years have I kind of actually done anything with it. The rest of the time I've been doing all sorts of other things with music, and it's only in the last sort of year and a half, 2 years I've actually, started to put a band together and record and release my own material.
Okay.
Under my own kind of name,
Yeah. How do you go about writing songs? Is there like a special method you have?
Not really. I always have a guitar out at home, or a couple of guitars in different tunings, and every day I'll pick up a guitar, and a lot of the time it just falls out. It's like I don't as such write it, I don't know, channel it. It just kind of comes out from somewhere else, and then I was like, oh, it's quite cool. And then just write some lyrics about what I'm feeling, or about what I'd like to feel, or about nothing to do with me at all, and then just kind of see if it fits.
Thanks. Cool. I've seen you play live before over at the university, which is just across the road from us, and I noticed that you use a slide a lot. When did you start incorporating that into your music?
The slide thing is years ago, sort of about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, when the White Stripes were at their height. I went to see Jack White and the White Stripes at Brixton Academy, and I was with a friend of mine, Dan Clark, at the time, and we were kind of watching, and he kicked off with Seven Nation Army, and it was just awesome. And I was kind of like, right, I'm going to go home and learn slide tonight. So I went home and sort of open-tuned a guitar and just started messing around with this thing. And then my dad made my first slide, which is this one here, just out of a bit of brass pipe, and then it's just come from there, really.
Cool. Who would you said like Jack White, but who are some of your main influences, would you say, over the years?
When I started when I was 5. All I kind of listened to was Eric Clapton, Peter Green, Fleetwood Mac, John Mayer and the Blues Breakers featured Eric Clapton was an album that I just played and played and played until the CD player broke. But now recently, the good sort of 4 or 5 years, obviously the Beatles were a big. I love the Beatles. I'm a massive Beatles fan. They don't influence me so much in that I kind of write songs like them as such. I have little Beatlesque little bits. I'm a big fan of George Harrison's solo stuff. Delaney Bramlett is one of my biggest heroes. Delaney and Bonnie, he was the first white. They were the first white band signed to like Motown label, because they're kind of like white country soul, just a real mishmash of all this cool southern rock and roll. Allman Brothers, the band, are a massive influence on me. And the Faces, perhaps, Ronnie Lane's Slim Chance, just all that kind of good old-fashioned rock and roll stuff.
That's great. So, not that this is pre-planned, but so I hear you have some sort of good story of some sort. I can't remember what it was about because I wasn't listening at the time.
Oh, okay. Well, when we were just talking earlier, and you were saying about where these songs come from and what they're going to be called, what they were called, and one of the songs I play is Old Shanky Shake, which I wrote literally. I've only just sort of written it, but it was a couple of nights ago, or it was probably a couple of weeks ago now, and I was sitting in bed with my girlfriend, and we were up at about sort of 2-3 o'clock with the baby, and had just got the baby to sleep, and we were just kind of nodding off, and she was talking to me about something. Sorry, I wasn't particularly paying much attention, and I was kind of like, oh, I've got these lyrics in my head, and I just got a pen and paper and just jotted them down, and she was like, what are you doing? I was just like, I've just got to write a story, and I literally had this story about this guy, and it was so surreal. It was like an out-of-body experience. It sounds bizarre and stupid, but it's just, I wrote these lyrics about this guy, old Shanky Shake, that is kind of involved with a murder at a riverside, and he then goes into like folklore, and you know, is then told. It's a story told to scare children at night, and
cool.
I've never been to this river place I have in my head, this riverside. I just wrote this whole thing, and it just everything, you know, I didn't even have to think. I just wrote this story and then went to sleep,
and
then woke up, and kind of the first thing I played fit perfectly. And it's, I don't know where these lyrics or this song came from.
That's awesome. You've got like an EP and an album.
Yes.
No, sorry, not an album yet. It's
Not
along the
yet.
way, December, isn't it?
An EP.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, the EP was released in August. It's got 5 tracks. You can get it from roscolevee.com, Amazon, iTunes, HMV Digital, all the normal places.
Awesome.
We got some really good reviews from it. It's I know it's been played in America quite a lot. A friend of mine the other day rang me up and was like, "Hey Rosco, I'm in Nashville and I just heard your song Gold Rush on the radio." So
that's amazing.
That's pretty cool. We've had some good reviews, and we're doing the album now in December, and we're recording at a place called Ranscombe Studios, which is in Rochester, and it's all analog, so it's all reel to reel, because I don't like using computers as such. I mean, this album will be used with no computers used whatsoever, and very limited digital stuff.
Cool.
You know, maybe a digital effect or whatever maybe. But we go in and record straight to reel, and minimal overdubs, and just instead of, you know, doing overdubs, I get more players in to kind of play it live rather than, you know, sitting and just noodling over stuff. So that'll be released hopefully March 2012.
Nice.
And it's going to be called Final Approach to Home. It's kind of like, I started writing all these songs, and it's going to be 12 songs on it. But it's almost like a concept album, but I didn't intend to be a concept album, because when I sort of sat down and was thinking of album names and stuff, going through all the songs and lyrics, there's an awful lot of references to home and coming home and being home and being with your family, and, you know, travelling home to see loved ones. And especially now, I guess I've got a kid and I've moved down to this area, and I finally feel like you know, I'm kind of settled, and I've just had all this kind of stuff to write about. So the album title Final Approach to Home is kind of all fits in well, really.
That's great. Well, what song are you going to play for us? Is it going to be...
First one I'll do is The Seven Seas My Name, which again is a new one that's going to be done for the album. It's going to have some fiddle playing on it, and kind of live, it's really rootsy.
Okay. Great, awesome. What's the second one going to be called?
Old Shanky Shake.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay, thank you very much.